Hello class, welcome to Pre-Algebra Lesson 4.2, which is all about connecting percents and proportions. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to use proportions to solve percent problems. The good news is, yesterday's video was kind of long, and I know that wasn't good news. I know that frustrates you guys, but because that one was longer, this one has an opportunity to be shorter, okay? So, Example 1, use a proportion to find the percent. The basketball team statistician tracked the shots Emily made and the shots she missed during the last game. What percent of attempted shots did she make? Okay, so the blue dots on the image all represent made shots. The orange or red ones represent the missed shots. Okay, and yesterday I showed you guys how we can set up a percent, right? So let me kind of go over that again. So this side of your fraction is going to represent the percent. Okay, and then over here at the very end of yesterday's lesson, I had introduced the phrases part over whole. Okay, so we are going to use this idea today in order to solve so many different problems, okay? So let me I wanted to clean that up just a little bit right there. All right, now back to this problem. We have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 shots that were made, and then 1, 2, 3 shots that were missed. So Emily took a total of 12 shots, right? So my whole number is she had a total of 12 shots, okay? And I want to know what percent of attempted shots did she make? Well, she made 9 of those. So I'm going to say 9 over 12 equals, and then just like yesterday, that 100 always stays there, but I need to figure out what is the percent, okay? So again, I'm just using X to be a little placeholder there. So what I would do is I would say 9 divided by 12 times 100, or 9 times 100 divided by 12, right? Because again, just that cross multiply and divide. So 9 times 100 is 900. 900 divided by 12 is 75. So that means that Emily made 75% of her shots. And sometimes a problem like this will ask you to respond with what percentage she made and what percentage she missed. So sometimes I'll see students solve for the made, like what we just did, and then what they'll do is they'll set up another proportion and they'll say 3 over 12 equals X over 100 and solve from there. And that is perfectly fine. The only thing that I would say is you can do it a simpler way. If you're looking for both, what you could do is say, like, well, okay, 100% represents all of her shots. She made 75%. That means she missed 25% of her shots. So you could literally just do like 100 minus whatever the percentage is that you already solved for. Okay, so you can do it either way, whichever one works best for you, but sometimes students like to know that somewhat little shortcut there. All right, now Camilla makes 2 of her 5 shots attempted. Is the percent of shots she made more than, less than, or the same as Emily's percent of shots? Remember, Emily made 75% of her shots. So why don't you go ahead and set this one up just like I did on the last problem and see what you end up with. Good luck. Alright, for this problem, hopefully you set it up similar to what I did, and you determined that Camilla only made 40% of her shots. So that means she made less, like her percentage of shots was less than Emily's. Alright, now let's move on to example 2, using a proportion to find the part, okay? So again, it's always going to be part over whole equals percent over 100. So now A plan to expand Megan's room will make the length of the room 175% the current length. Okay, so 175% the current length. So that's going to be our new, right? And we are trying to figure out, well, what is her new room length going to be? So oops, wrong color. I'm trying to stay consistent with the color coding for you guys. Okay, so if I look at this drawing over here, I can see that the original length is 4 meters. And we want to expand this, okay, so we want to make it even longer. So you can see that I have my proportion set up just like this, and just like on all of the other problems, we do the same thing. We cross multiply and divide. Okay, so I would say x equals, I would do 175 times 4, and I would divide that by 100. And when I do that, I get 7. So the new length of her room is 7 meters. And I'm going to remember to put in my label there. So that way I know that we're talking about meters, not feet, not yards. We're talking meters. All right. Hopefully you're seeing the pattern. If not, please ask for some help. But why don't you go ahead and try this one on your own? So we have Megan's room is expanded, so the width. Okay, so our width is going to be this right here, and it's going to be 150% of the 3 meters. So what is the new width? Good luck. Alright, for this problem, hopefully you determined that the width would be 4.5 meters. Okay, and you can check your work against what I have written up on the screen. If you have questions, please be sure to reach out for some help. I am happy to help you. Let's move on to example 3. We have the nutrition, or example 3. Now we're using a proportion to find the whole. Okay, so that means we have a part and a percentage. The nutrition label shows the percent of the recommended daily intake for nutrients found in a serving of a soy milk. How many milligrams of calcium should you consume each day? Okay, so you can see it's highlighted over in that image. Calcium, it says that one serving is 20% of your daily value of calcium, and that amount is 260 milligrams. Okay, so again, part, whole, and percent over 100. So we have part, right? It tells us exactly how many milligrams are in a serving. So the milligrams, the 260 milligrams, is going to represent my part. Okay, and I know that that is 20% of the daily value. And now what I'm going to do is it's still going to be over 100, but I don't know what the recommended daily value is. I just know what part of it is. Okay, so I am going to do the same thing that we've been doing, cross multiply and divide. So I'm going to say 260 times 100, and I'm going to divide by 20. And when I do that, I am left with 1,300 milligrams would be my label. Okay, so 260 times 100 becomes 2,600. 2,600 divided by 20, or sorry, 26,000 would be the number on the top. I dropped a 0 with my mental math. 26,000 divided by 20 would be 1,300. And then our label is milligrams. If you have questions about that, please be sure to reach out for some help. I'm happy to help you. Now, I'm going to have you do roughly the same thing, but this time we're going to look at iron, okay? So what is the recommended amount of iron needed each day? Round your answer to the nearest whole number, okay? So you are going to get a decimal, but we're looking for the nearest whole number, so meaning no more decimal. And iron, you can see, is located right below the calcium. So go ahead and use that information to solve this problem. Good luck. All right, when you solve this problem, hopefully you set it up just like I did, and then you cross multiplied. So you said 8 times 100 and divided by 45. When you did that, you probably got something like 17.777, repeating for a little bit. So if I were to round that to the nearest whole number, that's going to give me 18 milligrams would be the recommended daily value intake of iron, okay? And here is our key concept for today. We have percent problems represent a kind of proportional relationship, which I introduced to you yesterday. You can use proportional reasonings to solve your percent problem. So that's basically just a very mathematical way of describing the process that you've done on all of those problems, okay? If you have questions about this or anything else from the video, please be sure to reach out for some help. I am happy to help you. Have a great day.